All right, so you're getting ready for an interview to be an electricity and energy vocational teacher.
Sounds exciting.
Yeah, it is. We've got all these RoleCatcher resources here,
Career guides, sample interview
all
questions.
that good stuff.
The works.
Exactly. We're going to do a deep dive into what this role is all about and how to really nail those interview questions.
And how to stand out as a candidate.
Yeah. And of course, how RoleCatcher's AI can give you an advantage, right?
Huge advantage.
Yeah, for sure.
Definitely.
So let's jump right into some of these sample interview questions. The first one, this one is interesting. What inspired you to become an electricity and energy vocational teacher? It seems simple, but
Yeah.
what are they really asking?
I think what they're really looking for is passion.
Right.
Like they want to see if you're genuinely excited about this.
Got
It's your chance to tell your story.
Yeah.
Like what got you interested in this field in the first place? Was there a specific moment, maybe a mentor who influenced you?
Yeah, so it's more than just saying, I love teaching.
Way more.
You got to show them, what led you to this specific path. I mean, the career guide even mentions connecting your passion to your skills.
Exactly. Like, think about how your background and experiences make you perfect for this role.
Okay.
Did you work as an electrician before and that's where you learned about safety protocols? Or maybe you volunteered at a science museum and discovered you love explaining complex stuff
Right.
to people.
And breaking it down so they understand.
Yeah, exactly.
So a good answer would be like a personal story that shows your passion for electricity and energy, but also highlights your relevant skills.
And don't just give a generic answer.
Like, I love teaching and I love electricity. Everyone's going to say that.
Exactly. Be specific. Use vivid language. Paint a picture for them.
All right, good advice. Next question. How do you incorporate technology into your teaching and keep up with the latest advances in the field? The energy sector is constantly evolving, so staying current is essential.
Huge.
Yeah. So what are your thoughts on this one?
This is where you can really show off your knowledge and enthusiasm for the field. Remember the technology advances section of the career guide?
Yeah.
Things like virtual reality simulations of power grids.
Oh, that's cool.
Super cool. Interactive software for circuit design, or even 3D printing to create model components. That's a big one right now.
It's incredible what you can do with that technology.
I know.
So instead of just saying, I use PowerPoint, you're giving them concrete examples of cutting-edge tech and how you'd use it.
And don't forget to mention how you stay updated. Maybe you go to industry conferences, read trade journals, connect with experts on, social media or whatever.
Show them you're a lifelong learner.
Absolutely.
Okay. Next question. Can you tell us about a particularly challenging teaching experience you have faced and how you overcame it? Everyone's had a tough time in the classroom at some point, so what are they looking for with this one?
This is a classic behavioral interview question.
What does it mean?
They want to see how you handle adversity. So don't be afraid to share a real challenge you've faced. It could be a difficult student, or a complex technical issue, or even a time you made a mistake while teaching. Everyone makes mistakes.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So it's about being honest and showing that you learn from your mistakes.
You grow from them.
Exactly. Describe the situation clearly.
Okay.
Explain what you did to fix it.
All right.
And most importantly, highlight what you learned from it all and how it made you a better teacher.
The career guide also mentions getting support from colleagues and mentors when you're facing challenges.
Huge. It's actually a strength to admit that you needed help, that you're open to feedback and learning from other people.
Right. It shows you're collaborative.
Totally.
Makes sense. Okay, let's switch gears to a question about the classroom environment itself. How do you create a positive and inclusive classroom environment that supports learning and growth? This seems super important, especially in a hands-on setting like this.
Absolutely.
So what are they getting at here?
They want to see that you can build a sense of community.
Okay.
A space where all students feel safe, respected, and motivated to learn.
So it's not just technical skills. It's about creating that welcoming environment for everyone.
Exactly. Think about how you set clear expectations for behavior.
Got it.
How you encourage participation from all your students.
Right.
And how you deal with any conflicts or misunderstandings that might come up.
The career guide also mentions celebrating diversity and making sure all students feel valued. How can you work that into your answer?
You could talk about incorporating diverse perspectives into your lesson plans.
Okay.
Creating chances for students to learn from each other.
Well, I like that.
Yeah, and being mindful of different learning styles.
That makes a lot of sense. This next one gets to the heart of your teaching. How do you assess student progress and provide feedback to promote growth and development?
Oh.
What do you think?
So this is about showing the interviewer that you don't just rely on grades and tests. To see how well your students are learning, talk about different methods you use,
Not quite.
practical assessments, projects, and just observing them in the lab.
The career guide talks about giving individualized feedback, which seems important in a hands-on field like this.
It's crucial. You can't just say, good job.
Right.
Tell them why it was good and how they can do even better.
So specific constructive feedback.
Yes. That helps each student understand their strengths and weaknesses and how to improve.
Okay, I like that. Now this one. How do you plan and deliver lessons to meet the diverse learning needs of your students? You're going to have a classroom full of students with different backgrounds, experiences, and learning styles. How do you make sure everyone is engaged and learning effectively?
That's a big one.
It is.
It's all about being adaptable and committed to teaching everyone.
So how do you actually assess student needs?
There are a lot of ways. Diagnostic tests,
Mm-hmm.
casual observations,
Yeah.
talking to the students themselves.
Right. And then how do you tailor your teaching methods based on what you learn? The interview guide emphasizes moving beyond that one-size-fits-all approach.
100%. You might use hands-on activities for some learners, visual aids for others, group projects.
To encourage collaboration?
Exactly. And one-on-one instruction for those who need a little extra help. And of course, technology can be a huge help here too.
Speaking of technology, let's talk about RoleCatcher. It's a fantastic resource for perfecting your answers to these interview questions and getting feedback specific to this job.
I love RoleCatcher.
Me too. So what makes RoleCatcher so special?
Well, its AI looks at the specific job description,
Okay.
and then it gives you feedback tailored to the skills the employer wants.
That's smart.
It is. So for example, let's say you're working on your answer about using technology in your teaching.
Mm-hmm.
RoleCatcher would push you to go beyond just listing the tools you use. It would encourage you to connect your choices to specific learning outcomes.
I see. Give me an example.
Okay, so instead of just saying you use virtual reality simulations,
Right.
you'd explain how those simulations help students think critically and understand complex systems.
So you're showing the why behind your choices.
Exactly. It shows you're not just tech savvy, but that you're a thoughtful teacher.
Makes sense.
Mm.
What about the question about assessing student progress? How can RoleCatcher help you craft an answer that goes deeper than just grades?
RoleCatcher would encourage you to think about your students' overall development. It might prompt you to discuss how you assess things like problem-solving skills and critical thinking and how they're growing as learners.
It's about caring about the whole student, not just their test scores.
100%.
And let's not forget about the question about challenging teaching experiences. RoleCatcher can actually help you spin a negative into a positive.
It's true.
How so?
It encourages you to see that experience as a learning opportunity.
I see.
It makes you think about what went wrong,
Okay.
how you dealt with it, and what you learned that made you a better teacher.
So it's about admitting your mistakes and showing that you're always trying to get better.
Yeah. And remember, the AI doesn't just give general advice, it gives very specific tips. It might suggest certain phrases, examples to use, or even things like your body language.
It's like having a personal coach helping you with your delivery.
It is. I've seen RoleCatcher help people transform their answers. It's amazing.
All right. We've covered a lot of ground here in part 1 of our deep dive. We've looked at what it means to be an electricity and energy vocational teacher. We've gone over some tough interview questions. And we've even seen how RoleCatcher can help you get ready.
It's a great tool.
Yeah,
Are you ready for part 2?
I am. Let's do it.
I'm just amazed by how technology is changing how we prepare for job interviews.
It really is. Speaking of change, let's talk about the long-term career path for an electricity and energy vocational teacher.
Okay.
The career guide outlines different career stages
Right.
and how responsibilities change as you get more experience.
Yeah, you start at the entry level, mainly assisting senior teachers, keeping track of student progress, grading assignments, tests, that kind of thing.
So lots of hands-on support, learning the ropes in those early years.
Exactly. Then you move up to a junior level position. You start taking on more responsibility for teaching lessons, creating materials, and collaborating with industry professionals.
More independence.
Yeah, for sure.
And at the mid-level, you're stepping into more of a leadership role, right?
Yes, at the mid-level, you might be designing entire lessons, mentoring new teachers, doing research to stay up to date with industry trends. It's a more strategic role.
More big picture thinking.
Definitely.
And then there's the senior level, the top of the ladder. I was really interested in what they do at that stage.
Yeah, that's where you become a real leader in the field. You might be leading teams of teachers, designing curriculums, building partnerships with industry leaders, even representing your school at conferences.
Wow, that's a lot of responsibility.
It is, but it's also super impactful.
Yeah, I can see that. One thing that stood out to me was curriculum design. I bet it's really rewarding to create the whole educational journey for these future electricians and energy specialists.
It is. It's about more than just teaching them technical skills. It's about inspiring them, getting them excited about innovation, sustainability, solving the world's energy problems.
Wow, you're shaping the future.
In a way, yeah.
Thinking back on your own journey to a senior level position, were there any mentors or professional development opportunities that helped you along the way?
Oh, absolutely. Early in my career, I had this amazing mentor who really pushed me to get out of my comfort zone.
Like what kinds of things?
Presenting at conferences, publishing research, networking with industry leaders. Those experiences were so valuable for developing my leadership skills. I wouldn't be where I am today without that mentorship.
It's incredible how much of a difference a good mentor can make.
I know, right? They not only guide you, but they inspire you to reach your full potential.
Okay, let's circle back to those interview questions. I wanted to talk more about how RoleCatcher can help you craft those really impressive answers.
Okay, yeah.
What's unique about RoleCatcher is its AI analyzes the job description,
Right.
and then it gives you feedback that's specific to what the employer is looking for.
It's amazing.
So, for example, let's say you're answering that question about incorporating technology into your teaching. How could RoleCatcher's AI help you create a standout response?
It would push you to go beyond just listing the tech you use.
Okay.
Connect your choices to specific learning outcomes.
Give me an example.
Sure. Instead of just saying, I use virtual reality simulations, you would explain how VR helps students develop critical thinking skills or gain a deeper understanding of how energy systems work.
So you're showing the why behind your choices.
Exactly. You're demonstrating that you're a thoughtful, intentional educator, not just someone who knows how to use the latest gadgets.
And that makes you stand out. What about the question about assessing student progress? How could RoleCatcher's AI help you give an answer that's more than just about grades?
RoleCatcher would encourage you to talk about all aspects of your students' development.
Okay.
Not just their technical skills, but also their problem-solving abilities, critical thinking skills, how they're growing as learners.
So you're showing the interviewer that you care about the whole student, not
Yeah.
just their test scores.
Exactly.
That makes a lot of sense.
And don't forget that question about challenging teaching experiences. RoleCatcher can actually help you reframe what seems like a negative into a positive.
Okay, how so?
It encourages you to see the situation as a learning opportunity.
I see.
Reflect on what went wrong, how you handled it, what you learned from it, and how that made you a better teacher.
So it's about owning your mistakes, showing that you're always learning and improving.
Exactly.
And the AI doesn't just give general advice, it gives you very specific suggestions, right?
Yes. It might recommend certain phrases to use, examples to highlight, or even how to use body language effectively.
It's like having your own script editor.
It really is. I've seen RoleCatcher transform people's answers from hesitant and generic to confident and compelling. It's amazing to watch.
I know, it's an incredible tool. And before we move on, I want to emphasize that RoleCatcher isn't just for people who are new to the job market. It's great for anyone who wants to move up in their career.
Absolutely.
Whether you're a teacher aiming for a leadership position or someone thinking about switching careers altogether.
Right. And the Advancing Your Career section of the Career Guide actually has great advice on things like getting a master's degree or a specialized certification.
That's a good point.
Yeah. And RoleCatcher can help you tailor your resume and practice your answers for those higher level positions. Show your ambition and that you're not just qualified, but you really want to succeed.
You're driven.
Exactly.
All right. Are you ready to head into the final part of our deep dive?
Let's do it.
Okay, we're in the final stretch of our deep dive into how to become an electricity and energy vocational teacher. We've talked about what the job's all about, those tough interview questions, and how RoleCatcher can really help you get ready.
It's a game changer.
It is.
Yeah.
But before you go into that interview,
Yeah.
there's one more thing we need to talk about.
What's that?
Oh,
of course.
They're not just looking for someone who can teach, right?
Yeah.
They want someone who's passionate, engaging, excited about the field.
Definitely. So let that enthusiasm shine through.
Show them what you're all about.
Exactly. Share your experiences, your insights, your perspective on the world of electricity and energy. Let your personality come out.
And don't forget, an interview goes both ways,
It's a conversation.
Yeah. It's not just about answering their questions. You should ask them questions too.
Show them you're curious.
Right. Show them you're really interested.
Think about what you want to know about their teaching program, professional development opportunities, their vision for vocational education, you know?
It shows you're not just looking for any job.
Right.
You want to make a difference.
Exactly.
Okay, as we wrap up,
Yeah.
I want to leave you with something to think about. The career guide talks about keeping up with industry trends,
Mm-hmm.
but it's more than just reading articles. What's some new technology in the energy sector that really gets you excited?
Oh, so many things.
I know, right?
Smart grids,
Yeah,
microgrids, energy storage.
amazing.
It's all happening so fast.
And how would you bring that passion into your teaching?
That's the key. Inspire your students. Help them become the innovators of tomorrow.
That passion is what sets you apart. You have the knowledge, the skills, and now the confidence to ace that interview. Go out there and make a difference.
Huh.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive. Best of luck in your journey to becoming an electricity and energy vocational teacher.